we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna dance in the river. Dance in the river. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna jump in the river. Jump in the river. Deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to. We cry out to, we cry out to you, Jesus. I've got a river of living water, a fountain that never will run dry. It's an open heaven you're releasing, and we will never be denied. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna dance in the river. Dance in the river. 'Cause we're stirring up deep, deep wells. We're stirring up deep, deep waters. We're gonna jump in the river. Jump in the everybody sing it out. Deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to. We cry out to, we cry out to you, Jesus. Deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to, deep cries out to. We cry out to, we cry out to you, Jesus. We're falling into deeper waters, calling after you. We're walking into deeper waters, going after you. Everybody clap your hands. If he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. And if he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna jump, 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 jump in the river. Jump, 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 jump. Everybody, if he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. And if he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna dance, 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 dance in the river. Dance, 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 dance. Everybody, if he goes to the left, then we'll go to the left. And if he goes to the right, then we'll go to the right. We're gonna shout, shout,
What is BGMC? BGMC stands for Boys and Girls Missionary Challenge. BGMC challenges kids like me to make a difference in the world by praying, giving, and maybe someday going. BGMC taught me how much God cares about people who don't know Him. Once I understood what Jesus did for all of us, I wanted to help. I learned that one great way to help is to pray. With so many people needing to hear about Jesus, I learned that my prayers really do make a difference in the world. Missionaries go and tell people about Jesus, and that can cost money. Kids earn money in lots of different ways. That money goes to send missionaries to tell people about Jesus and to help poor people around the world. Where does BGMC money go? First, kids put their money in buddy barrels and bring them to church. The church sends the money to the National BGMC office in Springfield, Missouri. Then, BGMC gives it to the missionaries around the world and in the United States. Let's go to the country of Guatemala and see what BGMC is doing there. In Guatemala, BGMC money is going to a medical clinic. That money buys medicine, bandages, dental supplies, even eyeglasses. There's also a big meeting tent where people learn about Jesus. Wow, people get medical help and at the same time they learn about Jesus? How cool is that? Now, let's go to Africa. BGMC helped a missionary buy bunk beds and blankets for poor kids in Kenya. They had no place to live, and now they have a home where they're loved and taken care of. They also get their own Bible and learn about Jesus. Okay, how about going to the Philippines? Did you know that all over the world, kids die because they don't have enough food? Because of BGMC, kids like these have enough food to eat. Missionaries make sure the kids know about Jesus too. All over the world, people are being helped because of kids like you and me, missionaries, and BGMC. BGMC built a Christian TV tower in Malawi. Kids like you and me have helped dig water wells all across Africa. BGMC bought snowmobiles for pastors in Russia. The money we raise has helped buy goats, pigs, and cows to help poor farmers get started raising animals. Bibles are being printed and given away in lots of languages. Pastors get to go to Bible school because of BGMC. Wow, the dimes, quarters, and dollars we put in those buddy barrels really do go around the world. So you might as well believe it, kids are playing a big part in telling people about Jesus all over the world. We can pray, we can give, and we can go. By filling up buddy barrels, we can help missionaries tell people about Jesus. By learning this stuff as kids, we have our whole lives to be a part of what God is doing around the world. There are lots of good reasons for us to pray and give, but I know one reason that's really important. It'll make Jesus happy. I'm glad I know Jesus as my friend, and I want to tell others so they can be his friends too. I don't know about you, but I think BGMC is pretty awesome.
The Faithful Hall of Fame, Joseph. This is Joseph,
Hey!
who was the son of Israel and Rachel.
Ah.
He was his father's favorite, so his brothers hated him
Oh.
and sold him into slavery.
Yeep.
You see, Joseph was taken to Egypt,
Ooh.
and Potiphar, one of the Pharaoh's officials, bought him for his household. God was with Joseph, and he did well in Potiphar's house.
Oh.
Potiphar saw that God made everything Joseph did a success,
Aha.
so he put Joseph in charge of his whole house.
Yeah.
And God blessed Potiphar's house because of this. Potiphar's wife saw how well Joseph was doing in the house, and she wanted to make him do bad things. Joseph ran away from her because he wanted nothing to do with someone who would try to make him do the wrong thing. This made Potiphar's wife angry, and she wanted to be rid of Joseph.
Huh?
So she lied and made Potiphar believe that Joseph had done the bad things that she wanted him to do. Potiphar burned with anger against Joseph and sent him to prison. While Joseph was in prison, again, he did well, and the warden soon made him responsible for all that was done there. God was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. When 2 full years had passed, Pharaoh was having unsettling dreams. Pharaoh did not understand his dreams, so he sent for Joseph.
Hey.
Pharaoh asked Joseph to tell him the meaning of his dreams. With God's help, Joseph told Pharaoh that the dreams told of what could come in the future, and he explained all the dreams to the Pharaoh. Pharaoh believed that what Joseph was saying was true. He trusted Joseph as a wise man, and he put him in charge of the land of Egypt, of Pharaoh's palace, and of all his people.
Have you ever read the news? Have you ever read the news or watched the news on television or even just heard about the news? The world is kind of amazing and crazy, and all around the world, crazy things seem to happen. Bad things seem to happen. And yet when we learn about God, we know that God is good. Sometimes it's hard to understand that God can be good, and yet the world and situations and the challenges we live in are often bad. How can God be good, but life can sometimes be bad? Well, our story today kind of talks all about this. How God is good and we can trust him, and how he's always with us, even though sometimes we face bad situations. You see, our story is all about a guy called Joseph. You see, Joseph was one of the youngest sons of Jacob. Jacob had many sons, but Jacob really loved Joseph. You see, God had a special plan for Joseph, and God had given Joseph this special ability to have dreams about the future. He was also able to understand people's dreams and know what people's dreams were. That's a pretty cool thing. See, God was good to Joseph, but at the same time, some of the things that happened to Joseph were not really good. You see, Joseph was loved by his father Jacob, but his brothers were often jealous of Joseph. Joseph had this ability to have dreams, and that made his brothers even more jealous. So jealous that once they actually captured him and they sold him into slavery. Can you imagine your brothers selling you into slavery? That meant that Joseph became a servant a long way away in a place called Egypt, in a man's house called Potiphar. And even his time there, while he served really well and he did the best that he could, even his time there ended badly. I mean, how bad can things get for Joseph? He was people told lies about him, and that meant that Joseph was thrown into prison for something he didn't even do. Can you imagine how things could get even worse for Joseph? In prison, some people promised to help Joseph get free, but they ended up forgetting all about him for a really long time. But God was good to Joseph, even though life was sometimes bad. This was seeming like Joseph's life was going from bad to worse. Many years later, eventually, Joseph's ability was heard about by Pharaoh, the leader of all of Egypt. And Pharaoh had been having some really bad nightmares, and he called for Joseph to be released from prison so that he could interpret the meaning of those dreams. God used Joseph in that whole situation to save Egypt. He gave the answer that Pharaoh needed. He gave the right advice to Pharaoh for Egypt. He saved them from a massive famine. And because of that, and through that, Joseph was able to even save his family from starvation. How crazy is that? Throughout his life, Joseph was put in a lot of tough situations. He was out of his comfort zone, but God never left him alone. God was always good. Even when life was bad, God is good. He's always with us. He's always there to help us. God always wants to redeem the bad things and make them good. God works these bad things and brings good out of them. We just have to be people who trust in Him, just like Joseph did.